one of the things that you just dropped, your little, I think it's NakNak toys,
Yeah,
or like little stunt
yeah,
men, which I remember seeing that pop up on my screen like, I don't know, a week or two ago. And I was like, wait a second. I had like those, as a kid, like I'd probably have them in a box somewhere at my house. And so that was so cool because I mean, a lot of people make, shirts or really cool figures and awesome stuff. But like, I didn't even know that was something someone could just make. So if you kind of want to talk about what inspired you to make those, and kind of how that creation process went.
yeah, for sure. So NakNaks were like this old like McDonald's toy from like
Mm-hmm.
2002, and they're like these little like block characters, but like their center of balance is like perfect, so you can like stack them in any way, like hook their hands together and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, they're like I feel like at the time they had like the potential to be like one of the biggest fads, and then they just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
disappeared. So it's like, it's one of those like deep memories that people like won't remember them, but like once they see it, like, oh shit, like I kind of remember this. But I just like, this is weird, but like I love like small cubes and stuff. Like I was always obsessed with like Rubik's cubes and like anything shaped like a cube that was small. Like I remember like when I was like real little, like 3, there was this restaurant I used to go to, and they had these little like cube salt shakers. And I would go to like every table, take all the salt shakers, and just like line them all
Uh-huh.
up. I don't know why, but no, I guess like after doing the Game Boy thing, I was just kind of thinking like, what's like some other nostalgia stuff that I could do that I could like turn into a collectible, and like, because like I want to make toys, but the cost to manufacture that is so
Mm-hmm.
expensive, and like I'd have to learn CAD design. It's just like this whole thing, and then like doing the Game Boy games, I was like, this is literally just like a pre-existing thing with a sticker on it. And so like I did some research, and like apparently like the trademark and all that stuff for NakNak expired in like
Uh-huh.
2013. So I was like, hell yeah, I could do this and like not get sued.
Uh-huh.
I can't. I don't know if there was like a single like I don't think there was like a single thing that like inspired it. I think I was just kind of like thinking about like, oh, it was just weird. I was just like thinking about cubes, and I was like, what were like cube type toys that I like?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about NakNaks, and I was like, oh shit, I might be onto something. So so like once I came up with the idea, I just started like stockpiling NakNaks. Like
Mm-hmm.
anytime I'd have any money, like I would just go into eBay and I'd see like a deal for some like old NakNak toys, and like I would just buy people's like entire collections, and I just started like hoarding them like a
Mm-hmm.
madman. Like, I think I have like 400 at this point, and then I thought like basically after the Game Boy game, I was thinking, what are other ways I can create like collectibles that tie into music videos? And I thought like, oh, NakNak would be sick, because like I always want, like at some point I want to do like a skateboard music video,
Mm-hmm.
like the character like I don't know, when I look at the NakNaks, like I think of like a dude like posing on like a skateboard or a
Mm-hmm.
surfboard. So like at one point in the video, I want to have like the artist turn into a NakNak on like a skateboard and start doing tricks,
Uh-huh.
and then you can buy like that physical NakNak that's in the actual video.
Mm-hmm.
And then so when I was working on like the donor game, basically I source all of the cartridges internationally, and like when I bought them, they're like, this is expected to arrive in 3 weeks. So so when I sold the games, I said allow 5 weeks for shipping, and then I get this notification like 3 weeks later, like, oh, they're coming close, they're in the States, they'll be there soon, and they just never showed up. And then I was like, oh fuck, like what do I do?
Uh-huh.
Like I was like, do I order more and like waste the money? Like what if I spend all this money ordering more and they show up?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm just like hurting my wallet. So like I didn't know what to do, and then like people started messaging me like, hey, it's been 5 weeks, where's the game? And I started like kind of like freaking out, like shit, like I feel bad for like letting all these people down. So I ended up like reordering the cartridges. The first one got lost in the mail. I ended up getting a refund and all that, but anyways, I was like, I have to like make it out to like everyone who bought these, because like I feel so bad that these people waited so long.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, wait a second, like I plan on doing these NakNak drops eventually. Like, why don't I just make like custom NakNaks of the 3 outfits that Sebi wears in the music video,
Mm-hmm.
and just include one with every single game? Because that could kind of like, that would not only like promote like what I'm about to do, but also just kind of be like a thank you for your patience type of gift.
Mm-hmm.
So like before I shipped out the games, like I made these little like NakNaks of like Sebi. So like this is like this is the outfit he wears at the start of the music video. It's also what he wears in the Boner music video.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's like the jacked Sebi. Like there's a scene in the music video where he like flexes and his shirt rips
Uh-huh.
off. So there's that one. And then there's like a red one of him in his like red outfit. I can't find it at the moment. But it's like I made those and shipped them out. And yeah, and then after that I was like, I want to start making these on my own, but I just like wanted to do it. Like I was kind of like I had this weird period where it's like I want to start like creating stuff and like releasing products, but I was like waiting for like the right brand name for the right collab, all this shit, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, why don't I just like do one on my own that is like tied to my identity and has to do with what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make VFX snacks based off of like VFX characters, and like everyone, there's been toys that have to do with like music and graphic design, but there's never really been any toys for like visual effects artists, and I feel like that's like this whole chunk of like the creative scene
Mm-hmm.
that's like kind of untapped. So I created this is like my first drop, just like my first like original design drop, and it's in a cassette case, and it has like a lenticular hologram in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I've always like been interested in like holograms and like lenticular prints, and I decided like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity because like like it starts out like you have like the person in the green screen suit
Mm-hmm.
in front of the green screen, like you film them, and then you load that into Blender, and that's like the rig that you like attach the skin to.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you do that, usually your computer crashes, and I have like the blue screen of death character. So so they're all like in this like cassette case, and you take them out. Actually like named them too. So this is Max Mocap.
Nice.
He's just Mocap Man. And then we have Riggs Kinetic because he's a kinematic rig. It's really cool. He has like spot mirror effects on his skeleton,
Mm-hmm.
and everything else is like just glossy. And then here's Mr. Blue Screen, and it's funny because like if you like, it's hard to kind of see, but like his torso text is like the Windows 1998 blue screen of death text. So it's like the problem has been detected, Windows has been shut down, yada yada. And then on like his arms and his legs, there's just like binary code that translate to the word error. And yeah, and right now I'm yeah, so I only made 25. I want it to be kind of like a limited drop, just to kind of like show like here's like what I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
here's like what I plan to do, and right now I'm working on like a special gift that is included with every order, and it's like really exciting. Like I think the special gift is like cooler than the product itself, so I'm excited to ship those out. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't want to spoil it though, because I mean it'll probably be like another week or two before they ship,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, yeah, and it's cool because they're trading cards. Like people do trading cards, but I want there to be like a trading card that you can like physically like hold and play with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also cool. They have like little hooks on their hands, so like they connect together, and like you can build like all kinds of like crazy like stacks of them and
Mm-hmm.
shit. And also it's just like like it all ties together because it's like a stress toy. It's like fidget spinners and fidget cubes are like this huge thing, but like there's no branding behind it. It's just a fucking doohickey.
Yeah.
And this is like it's like a stress relieving toy because like the clicking and shit, but also it's like this could be different characters. Like what if every single music video I do, there's like you can get like a collectible figure of the artist. So it's like if
Mm-hmm.
you're a fan of my work, you can have this whole thing on your desk of like this big like stack of like all your favorite artists.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to these. I want to do these until I have enough like money and buzz to like create my own figures, because I don't want everything I do to be some sort of like nostalgia, like a nostalgia hack or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to create stuff from scratch. This is just kind of like hey, look, I want to make toys. This is what I've made.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I first saw those, like you said, it was like a deep memory. Like I haven't even thought about those toys in like 10 plus years. But I was like, oh, wait, I know those. So, yeah, you're saying they're from McDonald's. That's probably where I got like all mine from.
Yeah.
And that's cool because I was very curious on how you did that. And, it was really interesting to hear that story of you actually looked up and like found out the copyright had expired, and then just went on eBay and bought really cheap collections whenever you could and have like 400,
Literally.
and then just kind of did it by yourself, more not like a manufacturer but more just kind of solo, just doing it like that. So that's
Absolutely.
really cool to hear that story. um I'm trying to think. I mean, I think in 5-10 years from now, with the Game Boy games and all the stackable figures, you're gonna have like the coolest office collector's room with
Literally.
all that stuff. So that's awesome. And I mean, you kind of mentioned wanting to get into figures and stuff in the future. But is there anything related to that, or even more just like clothing or something, more physical products that you are interested in making that you can talk about?
Oh, yeah, I have like pages and pages. It's just like a matter of like doing it. So like at some point, like I do want to get into jewelry, and it's funny. Like it's funny how I got into this. It's like so I was VJing this event like I say like a couple years ago, and I have this like external hard drive that has like all of my content on it. So
Hmm.
it's just like a bunch of loops that I've made. So it's like, oh, this song sounds like heavy as fuck. I'm gonna put on this metal skull that like I rendered that's like headbanging or
Hmm.
something. And I was doing the show, and like my hard drive just started kind of like corrupting, or like it wasn't loading. Like my hard drive just like crashed on me, and I was like, fuck, like there's like hundreds of people in this
Uh,
audience, and now I only have like 15 clips to work with as opposed to 100. So I was like, shit, this could never ever ever happen again. So I was like, how can I make sure that like this never ever happens again? Like I need to like get a flash drive and like make it like an extension of my body so I never lose like any of my clips. So then like literally like a month after the show, I decided to like get my ear pierced, and then I went and bought like a little like tiny little flash drive
mhm,
and like a little hook, and I made this little like flash drive
uh-huh.
earring that has like all of my content on it. So like if I'm ever at an event and like I can't find my content, that's just got like my whole library on it. And I started thinking like, oh shit, like this is kind of cool. I could make like a line of functional jewelry, and I have like a bunch of ideas. I don't want to like share all of them,
Yeah.
but like I this is just like a little like random idea I had the other day. So like I found this old it's like a little like aux converter.
Mhm,
So like I want to make like an earring that's just like this bottom part that this can like clip into. So it's like a detachable earring that serves like a function,
mhm,
but also like then like if you take this off, you still have just the aux jack as an earring. So then like you could put like your dongle on it or something, and I started getting really into the idea of like functional jewelry. Um, and also like accessories that allow you to like interact with the music videos. Like I have like some crazy ideas for like ways you can like get like a product that allows you to like interact with the video on your screen, but it's I don't want to like share it yet because I want it to be a
yeah.
surprise. But so I started playing with that. Like I think like when I started like I don't know, I had this little like earring phase. I made this I like 3D printed like the first Bionicle mask I ever got. So like I got the little like blue McDonald's Bionicle
Mhm,
guy, and then like I found like this dude online who like 3D modeled like every single Bionicle piece, so you can like build like digital
uh-huh.
versions, and like extracted this one mask, converted it, and then like shrunk it and like printed it in like sterling silver. So I made that little guy. Back to the whole like content or like physical content that plays into the music video itself. During COVID, I got really obsessed with like animation cell collecting. Like like behind me, I have like two sketches from Samurai Jack. So like this one's like from the episode where like he loses his sandals, and then like this shoemaker starts designing all these different shoes for him that give him different
Mhm,
abilities, and these are like the sharp high heels. Then this is like the Scotsman from Samurai Jack. This is like from the episode where he where Samurai Jack gets brainwashed by sirens, and the Scotsman has to save him.
mhm,
Like I kind of got like obsessed with that idea of like wow, like before like the early 2000s when everything was digital, like everything was like physically handmade, and I started like rewatching shows and realizing like damn, like when I watched when I watch like an old version, like an old episode of The Simpsons, like Ed and Eddie, like I can literally see the shadow from the cell on the background, and like all of a sudden now like when I watch shows, like I can literally see like the individual like brush marks and shit.
mhm,
And now damn, that's so cool. Like I remember watching this episode and I was like 4 or 5 years old, and like it played a lot into like who I am today because it's, you know, like Samurai Jack was like one of my biggest influences, and like so now this to me is like a holy artifact,
Mhm.
and I was like, damn, like to watch like a piece of media that you connect with and then own a piece of it, that's like a really cool thing. But like nowadays it's impractical to like, you know, physically paint a cell. So I started thinking about like how can I do something like this, but like in my own way. And you know, I love like Lone Wolf and this one artist Winston Hacking who does like collage animations. So I started kind of like playing with that idea, and then I came up with this like nuts idea. I call them roto cards at the moment. I don't know when I'm gonna release these. I don't know if I'm gonna like do this in a bunch of music videos for like a year and then release booster packs, or if I'll release them per video. But
Mhm.
like I started playing with the idea of like paper cutout
Oh,
frames
whoa.
and then putting them in card protectors. So like here's like three of my logo, and like, you know, if you like play these three frames, it just kind of like jiggles. So like I want to like take like certain little sequences and frames in music videos and like make them animated on paper, and then like sell like the actual little like cards of them so you can own like the physical piece from the video. Like here's like a little, have this like animation of a you call it like a piranha plant or something. So like here's just like a little
Oh, whoa.
so here's like, you know, some like plants that I designed,
Uh-huh.
and then here's like another one I have right here, and it's, and I, you know, I kind of like play like I did some little tests with it, and I found that like when you put them in these cards and like you scan them, if you have them layered because of the protective case, it adds this like depth of field effect to it.
Mhm.
And then also like I've always loved the idea of like, you know, in Photoshop you have different layers, and After Effects you have different layers, so it's like art pieces that have different layers that you can put in like a shadow box or even like combine to make your own little scenes. So like, you know, you could take like this guy right here, and then you put like a fire frame in front of it and then a fire frame behind it, and now you have this whole little like 3D collection thing. And like in the bottom there's like a little code, so like I like cut them so like each one is numbered so you can like see like the code of that sequence, then also like so when I'm scanning them I know which one's which. So, you know, I want to do these little like cards from music videos at some point, and then like I want to put little like QR codes on them so you can like scan it and it'll like pull up the video, tell you exactly what frame it is, how many views it has, stuff like
Mhm.
that. And just like, you know, I just want to get them in the hands of as many people as possible. But you know, that's like a future thing I want to mess with. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, like, you know, I have like a bunch of products like planned out. It's just I don't want to talk about them until they're
Yeah.
complete. But yeah, I love the idea of like something that's in the music video you can like physically own, kind of crossing that gap. But yeah, those are all my plans at the moment. I'd love to like I don't really have an interest in getting into clothing. 'Cause I've never really been into designing clothes. You know, I want to kind of like stand out and do like my own thing where everything's like a physical product or an accessory. And then but I would love to at some point like collab with like streetwear brands where like I design I design like a toy of their character, and then they designed a shirt or something of my brand,
Mhm.
and so that way it's kind of like this like collab drop. So I'd, you know, I'd love to collab and do clothes, but you know, I do want to kind of like stick with physical products for the moment.